So, back for another Funconventional, and this time we are going to be looking at Weezing, both the Galarian and the Cantonian. So, yeah, this is a Pokemon that I'm not looking forward to using, because Neutralizing Gas just does not work in my brain. Like, something about it just doesn't register, and I'll always be surprised when something that shouldn't happen happens because of the Neutralizing Gas, and I'll just have to deal with it. But, yeah. Weezing Galarian, Neutralizing Gas is such a cool ability, even though it doesn't register. But it can shut off a lot of strategies, like Beat Up Justified, you're just attacking your Pokemon for damage and no boosts. Like the Steam Engine on Colossal, you're just water moving your Colossal for no reason, you're not getting your Steam Engine boost. So there's there are a lot of cool things that it can do. I'm hoping that I can pull off some of them in the coming week, but this is definitely the set that I've been holding on to for Weezing for quite a while now. I'm pretty sure that this should be the best Weezing, because if you think about it, like it kind of came from Tapu Fini almost, because you do get Misty Terrain, probably not worth over Neutralizing Gas. You could use Misty Terrain, but I don't think that Weezing is worth as a Pokemon if you're using it for Misty Terrain. You really want to be using it for Neutralizing Gas, but yeah. Tapu Fini was spec'd quite often back in 2017, so the same logic is applying for the Weezing here, so that you can actually do damage. So you don't want to be just sitting on the field, disrupting the abilities, and then not really doing anything, because even though their abilities are shut off, they're kind of playing against one Pokemon, really. So yeah, with Choice Specs, you can actually do significant damage, noticeable damage with the Choice Specs, so that's why I think that it should be used on the Weezing. Going with both its stabs, the Sludge Bomb and the Strange Steam, they seem quite obvious picks, and then you get some very nice coverage with the Heat Wave and Thunderbolt as well. You could put Dazzling Gleam on, but then you still have a spread move in your Heat Wave, but then I guess you could change Strange Steam to Dazzling Gleam, and then Heat Wave could be Overheat or Flamethrower, if you want the consistency of Flamethrower over the special attack drops of Overheat. But yeah, the EVs, the HP and just the bolds with 4 is enough to survive a max steel spike from a Cinderace that doesn't turn into a steel type because you've turned off its Libero with the Neutralizing Gas, which I think is quite cool. That's definitely another thing that Weezing can do. Means that they are forced to go for Fireballs if they want to actually be doing pretty reasonable damage. And like, if they're going for Airstreams, they'll get the speed boost, but they won't get the extra damage. So that could be neutralizing the Cinderace enough with the Neutralizing Gas. I was meant to say neutering, but neutralizing made it through. But yeah, then just some dump in the special defense because you've got enough HP with the defense. You don't need more HP. Yeah, special defense is pretty low, and then you've got to bulk that up a little bit. But yeah, I'm both looking forward to using this Weezing and not looking forward to using it at all because I'm going to look like such a fool when I just completely forget about my own Neutralizing Gas. But I've seen a lot of Weezings that, in general, the Weezings have been run very supportively. So this is a much more generic Weezing that you would have expected to see. Will-O-Wisp is definitely a good move. Taunt is probably the most common support move that I've seen on Galarian Weezing. And then you just extra bulk this time. You don't need much special attack. You've got enough special attack to Oko and Urshifu with a Dazzling Gleam, so I don't think you need too much more. If you're attacking with this Weezing, it's pretty much just for chip, or for resetting stats with the Clear Smog as well. You could have Sludge Bomb over the Clear Smog. I think I've seen a lot more Sludge Bomb on Weezings. And then there is the Haze option as well, if you wanted to just get rid of everything. But Clear Smog is a way of actually doing damage while not technically needing Sludge Bomb as well, so you can still hit for poison as well. But I don't like this Weezing could be okay, and it's seen some good uses. This Weezing doesn't suit me at all. I'm pretty sure the Choice Specs would suit me a lot more, which is why I'm going to be using that one instead. But there is also the Cantonian Weezing, so we'll just be looking at that as well just shortly. It's going to be pretty much the same as the previous supports, Galarian Weezing, because they do pretty much the same thing. So yeah, you have Sludge Bomb instead this time. I wouldn't run just Clear Smog as my only offensive move. I would have Haze instead so that Sludge Bomb could actually do reasonable damage. It would still two-shot on Assault Vest Rillaboom, so that's still going to be pretty good. And Weezing itself, like the Cantonian version, still gets Neutralizing Gas, which a lot of people may forget. They may only associate Neutralizing Gas with the Galarian Weezing as well. So that might like double not go into people's heads if they're not thinking about Neutralizing Gas, and then they're not thinking about Weezing having Neutralizing Gas, even though it will appear on the field. So yeah, Levitate is a great ability as well. It's weird that Weezing should not have Levitate, even though it's such a good ability to avoid the ground moves because of the poison. But yeah, it should be Neutralizing Gas. You could get away with Misty Terrain. I don't think it's worth. Like, the Misty Terrain will overwrite Rillaboom, but you can also stop the Grassy Terrain going up in the first place because of the Neutralizing Gas. I guess if you're switching in Weezing on a Rillaboom to overwrite Grassy Terrain, Misty Terrain is better because Neutralizing Gas won't stop the Grassy Terrain, and they can still go for priority Grassy Glides. But a Weezing's going to beat a Rillaboom anyway. If they have high horsepower, it will still do a reasonable amount of damage, but you should be able to beat a Rillaboom 1v1 anyway. So, yeah, that's going to be Weezing. I'm looking forward to using the Specs. I'm hoping that Specs is actually pretty good, because I've been holding on to Specs Weezing for quite a while, and now I'm going to actually be using it. Still have to build a team around it. That's going to be an interesting one, trying to factor in Neutralizing Gas into the team building, but we will see what happens for the coming Believe in Boyt. So, please put into the comments the Pokemon that you want to be featured in the next Funconventional. I only got one suggestion in the previous video, so that's going to be Gardevoir going up against the Slowbros and Stoutland from the previous polls, because those were the only three that I could choose from. So please go and put in the comments Pokemon that you want to be considered for Funconventional so that they can be put into the poll. And also go and like the Pokemon that's in the comments. I've got 3 comments that I'll say: the Slowbros, Stoutland, and Gardevoir. So please go and like them, because I use that to determine which Pokemon will be featured on the next Funconventional.